Welcome back to Literature Guide. Today's video is about one of the famous poems. It is actually a metrical romance. Every reader knows about this metrical romance, that is Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, which was actually produced by a poet who also wrote three major poems of that time. They are Pearl, Patience and Purity. All these poems, they are supposed to be written by the same poet. This particular metrical romance, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, deals with the adventures, courage, valor and chivalry of Sir Gawain, how his mettle has been tested by the Green Knight and how he was tempted by the lady of the castle. That is what this story is about. Sir Gawain has been called the most loyal and courteous knights of King Arthur's Round Table, and this story covers all the major deeds of Sir Gawain, and the Green Knight also adds some interest into the story which attract every reader of English literature. I have tried my level best to stuff all the important information in this video so that the students can get their answers in this video. This particular poem contains 101 stanzas and it holds more than 2500 lines, and really this poem fascinates every reader. I have already produced many videos on the old English poetry, like the oldest epic Beowulf and medieval romances, the Anglo-Saxon poetry, Anglo-Norman poetry. I hope you have watched all those videos because they are made for you, and this video also contains important details about this particular metrical or chivalric romance. It is also called alliterative romance because the alliterative meter, bob and will metrical pattern has been employed in this particular work by the poet. I hope you will definitely like this video. If you really like my videos, one thing which I often repeat, that do like and subscribe Literature Guide so that I can produce many videos for you in future also. Let's dive into the video and enjoy the video.
Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. The metrical romance deals with the romantic story of chivalry, adventure, love, trials and wars. Sometimes, it gives moral lesson to people which strengthen their religious faith. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight is a fine metrical romance of the 14th century. It contains alliterative stanzas of varying length with a bob and wheel metrical pattern. The bob is a short line with a single stress which is followed by wheel. The wheel is a quatrain of 3 stressed lines. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight is a famous 14th century metrical romance which contains 101 stanzas. These 101 stanzas comprise 2530 lines. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight is modelled on Chréstien de Troyes' poem Roman de Perceval. The metrical romance Sir Gawain and the Green Knight deals with the single episode of the Arthurian literature. It describes the adventures, brave deeds, trials of temptation, courage and patience of Sir Gawain which make the romance really interesting. As a chivalric romance, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight abounds with scenes of chivalry, love, mystery, and supernatural elements. It at once throws light on human follies and human capacities which appeals to every reader. It makes the story more realistic and appealing. Though the authorship of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight is not known, it occupies significant place in the arena of Middle English poetry. It is important to note that the four poems, namely, Pearl, Patience, Purity, and Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, were found in the same manuscript. As the linguistic style and feeling of these poems are similar, they have been attributed to the same poet. The identity of the author of these poems is a matter of sheer guess. Sometimes, the credit of the authorship of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight has been given to Hutchoun, who wrote All Yale. Sometimes, the credit is given to Ralph Strode, who composed Phantasma. So, it is difficult to make a concrete statement about the authorship of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. But one thing is clear, that the author of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight was well versed in French and Latin. He had sound knowledge of the Holy Bible. The story of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight has been described as a lay sung by the minstrel. It is important to note that Kazuo Ishiguro, in his famous fantasy novel, The Unburied Giant, revived the old myth of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. The novel The Unburied Giant deals with a quest for a nation's identity with the fine blending of myth and history. King Arthur and Queen Guinevere hold Christmas festival that lasts for 15 days at Camelot. They are surrounded by courtiers, knights and the ladies at the royal court. They distribute gifts and gather in a chapel for a religious service. When King Arthur and his lords and ladies assemble in his court, King Arthur expresses his wish that he wants to hear some stories of awe and wonder, and of adventure before he does have meal. At that time, a green knight with strong physique rides on his green horse and reaches the hall. He is clad in green clothes and he is mounted upon a green horse. The knight has wavy and curly hair touching his shoulders and a long bushy beard. The knight is holding a holy bow in his one hand and in the other he carried an axe. There is beautiful carving on the green handle of the axe. On entering the hall, the Green Knight stares at the courtiers. King Arthur greets the Green Knight and salutes him. He also requests the Green Knight to stay in Camelot for some time. But the Green Knight has come to Camelot to satisfy himself, and he has heard a lot about King Arthur's court and his noble and brave knights. The Green Knight tells King Arthur that he has visited his court with good intent. But he has one wish which he wants to be fulfilled. The Green Knight challenges the knights of King Arthur's court. He offers to receive a blow from any knight assembled with an axe, if a knight agrees to receive a stroke in return in a year. The Green Knight will come in a day's time to his assailant, who will receive a return blow. The challenge of the Green Knight surprises everybody in the court. The Green Knight is now eagerly waiting for a reply, and he is hopeful that someone in the court will definitely accept his challenge. The Green Knight states that he has heard about the fame of King Arthur and his brave knights. But the silence of the court clearly implies that nobody will accept his challenge. So, the Green Knight makes fun of the courtiers and knights assembled at the round table, and he laughed and mocked at them. On hearing the Green Knight's challenge, King Arthur's nephew Sir Gawain steps forward and requests King Arthur to allow him accept the challenge. Sir Gawain takes the axe in order to undertake the agreement. The Green Knight bends to the ground in order to receive a blow from Sir Gawain. Sir Gawain raises the axe and swings it full force and brings it down, which severs the heads of the Green Knight from the body. The head of the Green Knight rolls near the feet of the knights watching the encounter. The Green Knight stands on his feet, he lifts his head and mounts on his horse. He holds his severed head in his hand. When the Green Knight was leaving the court, the head spoke to Sir Gawain asking him to reach the Green Chapel within a year and receive the return blow from him. After the departure of the Green Knight from King Arthur's court, there was rejoicing and happiness in the court. King Arthur is also glad to have his meat, for he has witnessed a wondrous feat that day. There is fine description of changes of scene. The year swiftly passed and the time comes for Sir Gawain to keep his promise. He leaves Camelot on his horse in search of the Green Chapel. Sir Gawain travels from Camelot to Gloucestershire, through North Wales and Cheshire. There is fine description of wildlife, nature and adventures of Sir Gawain in the poem which make the reader recall Beowulf. Sir Gawain rides his horse on untrodden paths and encounters many dangers like Beowulf. But the cold winter really tested his mettle. Sir Gawain travels when Christmas is near at hand. He prays to Virgin Mary and he enters the forest of huge oak trees. Sir Gawain sees a castle perched on the mountain top. When he reaches at the gates of the castle, he finds the gates locked. The porter of the castle opens the gate, and Sir Gawain enters the castle. The lord of the castle welcomes Sir Gawain. He also arranges a grand feast for Sir Gawain where music and carols are sung by a minstrel. After dinner, Sir Gawain takes permission of his host and goes to meet the ladies. He meets a young lady who is accompanied by an old companion of her. He kisses the young lady and bows to the old lady. The feasting and rejoice go on for 3 days. Many of the guests have already left the castle on St. John's Day. Sir Gawain also wants to begin his journey again. But the host of the castle wants him to stay longer and assures Sir Gawain that he will reach the Green Chapel in time. According to the host, the Green Chapel is only 2 miles away from the castle. He asks Sir Gawain to give his company to the lady of the castle while he goes out hunting. He also proposes that they shall exchange the best gift each day, whatever they get that day. The host goes out for hunting for 3 days. He got deer on the first day, boar the second day, and the fox on the 3rd day of hunting. Meanwhile, the lady would visit Sir Gawain each morning and she tried to build a close bond with Sir Gawain. But Sir Gawain rejects her advances wisely and courteously. She kisses Sir Gawain and Sir Gawain returns them to his host as per the agreement. Sir Gawain also refuses to accept a gold ring of the lady. The lady wishes to give a gift of a silken girdle to Sir Gawain which she has woven. The silken girdle holds magical powers, and makes the wearer invincible. Sir Gawain knows about the impending danger of the Green Knight and so receives the gift of a silken girdle from the lady. He keeps this gift in secret from the host. Thus, it clearly indicates that though Sir Gawain wins over sensual temptation, he fails to win over the fear of death. On the New Year's Day, Sir Gawain buckled on his armor, and wore the silken girdle beneath it. Then he expresses his gratitude to the host and the lady of the castle and leaves the castle. Sir Gawain is accompanied by a servant to guide him on his way to the Green Chapel. The servant asks Sir Gawain not to go further since the Green Knight kills everyone who passes the Green Chapel. But Sir Gawain continues his journey and reaches the valley. He finds the chapel surrounded by high rocks which make it quite inaccessible. Sir Gawain ties his horse, Gringolet, to a bough and starts climbing the hill. The Green Chapel has 3 entrances. Sir Gawain marvels at the wildness of the place. While approaching the chapel, Sir Gawain hears noise of grinding an axe. He thinks the sound of grinding an axe is coming from his enemy. As Sir Gawain reaches the territory of the Green Knight, he sees the Green Knight holding his Danish axe in his hand. The Green Knight asks Sir Gawain to get ready to receive a return blow from him. Sir Gawain bows and bends his head to receive the return stroke. The Green Knight raises his axe for the blow, but Sir Gawain flinches a little. The Green Knight rebukes Sir Gawain and calls him a coward. Sir Gawain gets ready to receive a blow once again. The Green Knight raises the axe and brings it down with force. The blow wounds Sir Gawain slightly, and the silken girdle has protected him from death. The blood oozes over his shoulders. Sir Gawain stands on his feet again, arms himself with shield and helmet. He tells the Green Knight that he has kept his promise by receiving a return stroke. The Green Knight observes Sir Gawain minutely. He further states that he is the lord of the castle where Sir Gawain has been entertained for some time. He also tells Sir Gawain that his first 2 strokes could not affect Sir Gawain because Sir Gawain has kept his promise by returning the gifts he received from the lady. Sir Gawain has returned the kisses to the Green Knight, but the last stroke wounded him because Sir Gawain has concealed the last gift of the silken girdle. The green girdle belongs to the Green Knight. Thus, the Green Knight makes all things clear to Sir Gawain. He also tells Sir Gawain that he asked his wife to tempt him. Sir Gawain broke his promise not for sensual pleasure but for his life. So he is not guilty. Sir Gawain feels ashamed of his deception. He puts off the green girdle and throws it back. He gets ready to atone for his guilt. The Green Knight presents the silken girdle to Sir Gawain. He thinks that Sir Gawain has already atoned for it. He has also received the return stroke for his deception. Sir Gawain accepts the gift of the silken girdle from the Green Knight. Sir Gawain will put on a girdle as a sign of his guilt. The Green Knight invites Sir Gawain to his castle but Sir Gawain declines the offer. The Green Knight also reveals his name to Sir Gawain. His name is Bernlac de Hodizet. He also tells Sir Gawain that the whole matter has been planned by Morgan the Fay. She is half-sister to King Arthur and pupil of Merlin. She is enemy of Queen Guinevere. Morgan the Fay wanted to frighten Queen Guinevere. The Green Knight also tells Sir Gawain that he has seen Morgan the Fay, the old lady in the castle. Both Sir Gawain and the Green Knight bids farewell to each other. Sir Gawain starts his journey to Camelot and reaches at King Arthur's court. He narrates all the incidents to the king and his knights. He also shows the silken girdle to them. The Knights of the Round Table decide to wear a green girdle.
How is the video? I hope you liked the video. If you really like my videos, do like and subscribe Literature Guide. I have already produced 4 videos on Old English poetry, Beowulf, Anglo-Saxon poetry, Anglo-Norman poetry and the medieval romances. This video also contains useful information for the students who are pursuing competitive exams and various exams conducted by different universities. If you really like my videos, keep supporting Literature Guide so that I can produce many videos for you in future also. I will meet you soon with a new topic on English literature. Meet you.
Please subscribe Literature Guide.